I have a younger brother. Actually, I have two younger brothers. And growing up with them, we definitely knew how to make the most of having siblings. Let me tell you how it was growing up with my two siblings. Even though I am the oldest child, I never really experienced being an only child. Not even for a little while. My cousin and I grew up in the same house, so I was already used to always having someone around to play with. Then my first brother was born, and I was so excited. At first, I did not know whether I would get a sister or not, but I really wanted to do the same things with my new sibling that I did with my cousin. And so I did. Obviously. We did pretty much everything together. We shared toys and games, sometimes willingly, sometimes after a fierce fight. Looking back, he was always the quiet one, but ridiculously clever. I still remember one day when he was taking a nap in his crib next to my parents' bed. You know those cribs with the bars that look suspiciously like tiny prisons? I was sitting in the living room, drawing, waiting for him to wake up. Until suddenly, he crawled into the room. I absolutely panicked and picked him up, with barely enough force, and sprinted to my mom. She looked at me completely confused. "Why did you wake him up? Why didn't you just call me?" I told her that I didn't get him out. So the three of us went back to investigate. Turns out he had somehow figured out how to twist and remove a few of the crib bars, climbed onto my parents' bed, used the blankets to get down to the floor, and crawled out of the open door. We did not even bother fixing the crib. That hole just became a permanent reminder that my brother had officially defeated the furniture industry. As we got older, we became ridiculously competitive. Mario Kart, Mario Party, New Super Mario Bros., Pokemon, Memory, you name it. Now, maybe I was the competitive one. I love my brothers more than anything, but letting them win? Absolutely not. There can only be one winner. Luckily, my brother felt exactly the same. Not so much my youngest little brother. With him, our little trio was complete. Now let me just say this. He is an angel. He'd randomly hug us, bring us little gifts, and sometimes even share his allowance with us. Don't you dare take that. He genuinely just wanted everyone to be happy, which was adorable most of the time. But there was one incident where his generosity was slightly misplaced. Back then, I owned the family Nintendo DS. My brother and I took turns using it. Although, since it was technically mine, I wasn't always thrilled when my turn was over. One afternoon after school, I was exhausted and looking forward to finally playing. Then my youngest brother walked up to me with the biggest smile on his face, and in his teeny tiny little hands was my Nintendo DS, split cleanly into 2 pieces. Beaming with pride, he even said, "Look, now both of you can play together." I genuinely didn't know how to react. So I just stood there silently while trying very hard not to burst into tears. I was devastated. And honestly, a little bit salty. But somehow everything worked out. We all got upgraded. I got a Nintendo 3DS, my middle brother got one too, and the youngest? He got a Nintendo 2DS. For no particular reasons. He would always prefer games where we would work together as a team, but most of the time, teams was a rather loosely term. Often one of us was stuck with a bot, and that would often be me. Now, another universal sibling experience is rage bait. There's so much to say about siblings rage baiting each other that actually I should probably make an entire video about that topic on its own someday. But speaking of games, New Super Mario Bros. I swear, every single time we played, my brothers would eventually find a way to get me killed. Then they'd either refuse to pop me out of my stupid bubble, or they'd jump into bubbles themselves, ending our run instantly. Every single time. I wish I was exaggerating. Growing up with siblings honestly feels like playing multiplayer. You gain extra lives, you combine different abilities, you share the damage, and you also share your inventory. Whenever I asked my parents for permission to do something and got told no, I would immediately send one of my brothers to ask. And suddenly, our chances of success went from maybe 20% to like 95%. Critical hit. Of course, sharing everything also means sharing the consequences. If one of us got on our parents' nerves, we all had to walk on eggshells that day. No one was safe. Although every now and then, one of us would heroically take the blame for the others. Or let's just say, some very convincing arguments were made. There's honestly so much more I could say about growing up with siblings. These are just a few of my favorite memories. Maybe I'll tell you some more another time. But for now, that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to these stories as much as I enjoyed making them and remembering them. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, let's meet again under the same star.